And we're live. Hi,
Hi, everybody.
everybody. Ooh, hi, Tanji. Thanks for
Hi,
joining
Heather.
me.
Thanks for
So
having me.
Tanji is here. She is doing well. She got her power back on, everybody.
Thank you,
I guess
everybody.
from what you said earlier, food is going to be coming soon to the supermarkets.
Hopefully tomorrow the stores are open. Yeah, it's a holiday today, and I don't know. If I'm hoping the stores will be open tomorrow. It makes sense, but it's a small town. Who knows? Right after a storm.
We're all glad to hear because we heard some people lost their lives. So immediately I was very concerned about you. If anyone has heard anything from Ron, if you could please just go ahead and share in the comments. I would love to know because we know
Hope
Big Bro
Ron
was up there
unconditional love
too.
is doing
Yep.
well.
So,
Yeah, he's in the
alrighty,
Quebec
well,
side.
thank you, Tanji, for being here.
Thank
This
you,
is
Heather.
my new little segment I want to start working on. And you're probably figuring out what the hell am I wearing? Tanji's got horns on. I got this weird crown thing. Well, I'm starting a women's art herstory because so many
Yay!
women artists from the past, including now, do not have a voice at all because they were women. So, what I want to do with this segment is bring on guest readers who have a particular. Oh, excuse me. Was it you say speak your truth, get out your gas? So
Yeah.
right away. So
Your
I want
guides
to be
wanting to
able to.
tell you stuff.
Yes. So I wanted to be able to. Oh, bring these women, these fantastic, creative, talented women to the forefront and just share my love of their art, whether it's a genre that I may not be crazy about, but I know Tanji has a wild and fun and wacky imagination. She loves her art, she loves her crafts, and I thought, oh my goodness, she has a surrealist tarot deck. And we actually found that one of the woman that we're going to be reading on today is actually featured in her deck. And did you want to? Oh, and there she is. And let me grab this. So it's a law name. So let me pronounce this properly. Okay. Her name is, after Bing kicking me out. Alrighty. And here we go. Maria de los Remedios Alicia Rodriga Varo y Roranga. And she goes by Remedios Varo. So we'll keep it short. What I will share right now with everybody is because this is going to be a cold reading. Tanji loves to do her readings without any information beforehand to see how accurate we are. And Maria was born in December 16th. She was a Sag right off the bat. Awesome. 1908, and she passed in 1963 in October. And she was a Spanish surrealist artist working in Spain. So that's as far as I'm going to go. And
Yeah.
let me just
I
show a
didn't
picture.
I only saw her name and underneath it a little blurb like something about 1922. She had a photo of her with a cigarette and it was a long name, something about Spanish, French, Mexico, and all I could take from that was Varo. And so I asked her to be here today in spirit to help me with my teams. And she's with us on the spaceship. That's the photo. And I said,
And
how
she's
do I
actually
say your
got a
name?
paint. Oh, cigarette and paintbrush. There
Yeah,
you go.
right. Hello. That's how I do it. But I said, what do you want me to call you? And I heard her say it and I went, Varo. And she said, close enough. And I went, okay. So that's what I'm gonna call her. Varo. It has to be like, like Italian, Mexican, Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do my best. Thank you.
Just
Yeah, so
saying
I
hi,
don't know
Lily.
anything else about her.
Okay, so just really quick, we have Uncle Bear. Wow, we have quite a group popping in here. Nancy
Everybody.
Riker, thank you. Shaw Woman.
Dina.
Hello, Dina. Okay, hello,
Dina's
Dina.
show.
We have Laura from Backyard Naturalist Tarot. Uncle Badger.
Uncle Badger's Thomas, a very dear friend of mine.
Okay. Sherry, hello. She's got 20 minutes to listen from work. Thank you, Sherry. Teresa Levine. And I think I saw Ronnie.
Ronnie.
Yep. Yeah. Hats. Yes, Ronnie. Hats. Because
Thank
we
you,
are talking
Dina.
about realism today. So some people might want to know what is realism. And I'm just going to give the brief little definition
Go ahead.
of realism. Okay, Surrealism is a cultural movement that developed in Europe in the aftermath of World War II, because of where everyone's state of mind was after that World War One, excuse me, in which artists depicted unnerving, illogical scenes and developed techniques to allow the unconscious mind to express itself. Its aim was, according to leader Andre Breton, to resolve the previously contradictory conditions of dream and reality into an absolute reality, a super reality, or surreality. It produced works of painting, writing, theater, filmmaking, photography, and other media. And awesome, she's sharing different arts. We know Magritte was one of the male artists. We know the famous Salvador Dali. He was surrealism. And the word surrealism was invented by Guillaume Apollinaire. So I know I'm not pronouncing that properly, but the years where it was most popular expanded between 1920s and the 1950s. And that's why I wanted to say too, World War II as well. I mean, with such dark, disturbing aftermaths of these wars, a lot of the artists were just wanting to tap into the subconscious to kind of try to make a sense of everything, of of this world, like what I'm doing right now with everything that's been going on. Just trying to figure out, what is the subconscious trying to say. Dreams were very important as well in surrealism, the interpretation of dreams. And Tanji even had a cool dream last night.
Great. You can
Did you
tell it
want?
if you want.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you
I'm
wanted
just
to
showing
tell it.
surrealist deck photo pictures while you speak.
Well,
I love
Tanji had a dream that she was flying around with Roman and came to a locale where it felt like it was an artist colony. And make sure you correct me, Tanji, if I mix something up.
Sure.
But you were presented with this hat that had a boot on it,
A Victorian shoe.
a
Just one.
Victorian shoe, just one. And it was on a hat and she was wearing it. So it was kind of like already she was starting to channel that surrealist idea. Um, and and it was what interesting too is like 3 days ago, I had a dream and I haven't got a chance to tell you this yet, Tanchi. So this is going to be fun.
Ooh.
I was in a store of some kind and I guess, they had an item to give away and there was there were no adolescents in the store for them to give it to. So this woman said, here, have this. And it was a large felt craft bat. It was purple
Like
body,
an
purple
animal
wing.
bat?
Yeah, a bat, but it was like childlike. It was like felt, and
Wow.
it was kind of like stuffed, and it was big wingspan, and it had the eyes and everything. It was a kid's toy, and she handed it to me, and I'm like, okay, I have a bat. And then the next thing I know, her hands are on the bat, and she's taking it away from me, and she goes, "Up, a child just came in," and she handed it to the child, and that was the end of the dream. So we both kind of had interesting dreams coming up into this live.
Yeah. Right?
Yep.
Wow.
So
Maybe
you
that'll
got a
play
hat
into
with a
some.
with a shoe, and I got a stuffed felt bat that was purple, but it was taken away from me. So maybe I wasn't ready for the bat energy.
Maybe also because it was for an adolescent and maybe you were too old for something. Like, not that you're too old for something, but there's something better for example, you could have a Mickey Mouse spoon to eat with, or you can have a beautiful skull bone shaped spoon. And which is more mature? Well, the skull shaped one. And the Mickey Mouse one is cool, but you're not going to really want a Mickey Mouse shaped spoon. Maybe the 10-year-old will. So it could be something like that. But how did you feel when you had the bat? Did you really want it when you got it?
She had no.
So there you go. So it's not a
but
lot.
but then it was shocking because I was going to be like, okay, what do I do with this bat? And I was kind of mesmerized by it because I'm like, wow, it's purple. When people know indigo, purple, my things, and I'm like,
Right.
well, this is different. And then when she took it away from me, it was kind of like, hey, you just gave me that, kind of like, but I
Yeah.
understood. It was weird.
So well, there you go. So you'll understand when you lose something that's not meant for you, because you know someone who it's meant for will appreciate it more.
Okay, and I'm taking it. You can see the chat.
It's
So I'm
the
trying to put things up.
Surrealist Tarot.
Yeah.
Luigi I never get this right. Giamarino
Giamarino.
on Amazon. And it wasn't much. It was like 26 Canadian.
Yeah. I actually bought that deck too, and it really did connect with me. But this one young lady that I used to read with over at Rising Goddess, I asked her if she for some reason I asked her, do you like surrealism? And she's like, oh my God, I love surrealism. And I told her about this deck, and when I showed her, she was like, oh my God, yes, I want it. So it was meant for her. So
that's kind of like your dream too, even though it's an after effect.
yeah.
Something you were happy to have, but then when it was taken away, you were kind of, at first you're like, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Then it was taken away and you're like, oh, I kind of wanted that. But then you realize it's better off with someone else.
For somebody else. But that's one of those, dreams nowadays for me. It's hard because there's so many of them. And I think it's because I'm doing more readings with other readers. I'm connecting more. And I think I'm getting a lot of stuff in, and it's just jumbling too much. And it's like, and I ask at night, not so many, so I can remember, but it's still kind of coming in.
Yeah, right?
It's like
dreams do that. It's like a surrealist painting, and then you don't really realize until after the fact of what something meant. Right?
I'm just looking to see, because I know Uncle Badger's been sharing some information on comedy, surrealism, jazz music. George Melly is a favorite.
Badge knows a lot. I love it.
So
I don't know names. I don't remember any. My mom had all kinds of, like, some of these images in the deck are very familiar because my mom had Magritte, Matisse, Escher posters and prints all over the house. So I grew up with all this stuff. Dali, but I don't always remember the names.
Yeah, sometimes it's her. Well, I worked at as a security guard at the Albright Art Gallery in my mid-20s, and so for me, I got to see all these works, on a daily basis. And if I worked at night on the midnight shift, we had to still go down by the vaults and make sure everything was still room temperature and whatnot, I could take my time and pull out the racks and see art that a lot of people don't get to see or rarely ever see. So that was fun back in the day. Yeah.
I was a security guard, but it was an empty TTC building at the time. There's no art in it.
Aww.
But that's cool. Yeah, Escher is one of my faves. Dali, Magritte. My grandmother had Matisse. I can't remember the guy who does the clown, the weird, not the scary clown, the hobo clown.
I get scared with clowns.
It was like Red Skelton would do the sad hobo clown.
Yeah.
That kind of painting, my grandmother had that too in my room that when I was living with her.
Very cool. So what do you like about surrealism, Tanji?
This is how, when I look at anything surreal, that's my brain. That's me. This is how I see things daily. Like most of you, I tell you. I'm not from here. I'm an alien unicorn on the spaceship. What is it? I'm in the 5th dimension, communicating with the 4th dimension, showing up in the 3rd dimension, traveling in the 8th dimension. So this is normal to me. This is where I'm from. This is what, I see when I go to eat breakfast. That's what I see. I see that. I grew up with that, and I always connected with that. I always thought, with Escher especially, and this reminds me very much. What is it? Magritte, with the apple and the like the other. I think it's the Wheel of Fortune card. That I was like, and that this is not a pipe, that was my world. Like I understood that. And then you show me a Monet painting and I couldn't relate to it. But you show me a surrealist, anything surreal, and this is where I'm from. I know this. Shapes in the sky, Geiger, even sometimes his work, some of it. I'm not a big fan of his depiction of women, but some of the pipes and the way things turn on a planet, and even the guy, I forget, I'm sorry his name, who did the album covers for Yes. All that surrealist mountains and the
I can't
clouds.
remember that either, but
But this was like, I'm from here. This is normal to me. This is what I can relate to, and this is how I see everyday life.
And with me, with the impressionists, for me, it connects to me on a spiritual level. Like, that's where I'm at. Like, if I could have like a dream where I could go to, and paint, in the afterlife. I'm hoping that's possible to paint in the afterlife.
Absolutely.
I hope so, because there are places I want to go. And I know that they said that some people have had a near-death experience, have come back, and they said there are colors on the other side that we cannot perceive with our own eyes because of our wavelengths of what we can see.
You know, the movie with Robin Williams, What Dreams May Come?
I have not seen that because it's sad, and but I do need to see
that.
From
what is it? It was from the poem or the story of What Dreams May Come, but it's a beautiful movie. But yes, he goes into the painting, like it's when I don't want to give it away. The colors and the richness are different. The spectrum is different. And I see that. I see like the Celestine Prophecy movie, and I read the book. I see the colors. Right. And so that's already how I see things. Okay. So you'll see a guy buying apples at a store. Well, this is what I'll see.
Interesting.
I see color around him. I see movement. I see Fey world. I see other portals. This is
like
just
symbols and things.
Yeah. Wizard eyes. If you watch Adventure Time. Hi, Linda. Everybody coming in.
Here. Silver Star Heather is here.
And
Linda.
Mama Bear.
So, do you have any artwork, physical artwork that you painted or drawn or even sculpted? Because I know you do crafts.
I do, but I didn't even. Girl, I'm sorry. I did not even think to grab anything.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait. I think I have something right here in my magical cabinet.
Okay, while you're doing that, I'm just going to acknowledge. Yes, Serena. Hi, Mama Bear. Thanks for joining us. It is a literal representation of the subconscious. Yep. And then, we have to wake up in the morning and try to put them all together into something that we can actually understand. And for Tanji, that comes very naturally for her. Whereas with me, I have to kind of get a sense of feeling. What was I feeling like? Yeah, I had some weird ones too last night with, of all things, M&Ms. Something to do with a grocery store, and I was in there with this woman, and there was this display, and I remember seeing the colorful M&M bags. And I know a lot of people dream in black and white, and I guess there's more people who dream in black and white and less that do in color. But for me, I dream in color.
Yeah, it's
those M&M bags. Woohoo! Those were. Yeah. I woke up this morning going, maybe I should get some M&Ms.
Maybe I should take a trip after not being able to eat food for 2 days. Well, we lived off buns and milk. Now I'm like, I'm going to spoil myself and I'm going to get whatever I want to eat, and healthy too.
Yes, I was reading with Terry the other night, and how this is very interesting, Tanji. You might be interested in checking out Terry Zuki. She goes by Kigaru Tarot, and when she listens to her guides, for her it's a stage, a theatrical stage.
Ooh, nice.
And people from her family and in spirit come, and they're like her stage hands, and they roll out props and things to give her images to relate to people.
I love it.
That was just fascinating. And she kept bringing up the other night, she kept getting a lot of images with cake. And by the end, I'm like, Terry, thanks for getting us all out for cake.
Right. Sure. My guides do that. They're on the ship. Me, it's the spaceship. And there is a theater, a movie room. There is it's like a holodeck. thing
And
is a
Roman
different.
came by, and Roman came by yesterday, everybody, to let
You're
me know that
stealing.
Tanji was okay. A lot of people didn't see this picture that are on here, but that was actually light on my ceiling. And I just happened, something just made me look up because I was unpacking. I'm here doing this, grabbing that. And all of a sudden I just go, what? You
That's
know,
Roman shit for sure.
and that was on my ceiling. I'm like, oh my God, I gotta get this. And within like a minute after taking it, it was gone.
Yeah,
And I sent it to Scott,
that's what Roman does.
Spiritual
And
Essence,
because
and he was like, "What the hell is
right.
that?"
I love when you sent it to me. I didn't because I just got cellular data. The power was still out. Everything was choppy. So I saw like the thumbnail of it, which I thought was a ship in the sky outside your window. And I'm like, that's cool. And then you said it was on your ceiling. I'm like, that's even more cool because
Yep.
because Roman is a guide too. So she came through.
So
But I did
she let me know
did,
that you were okay because I was worried.
yeah.
Ooh.
So this
See, now
is
to me that
me.
feels very impressionistic.
That's me, an actual photo of me when I took I was I 3, 5, or 6? One of my acting. I grew up in the acting biz, and one of the portfolio photos, I painted that from that, and then I go into my meditative whatever. I go on the spaceship, and the guides take over, and so through me, they painted me as a fairy princess
That's
kissing
beautiful.
the frog.
That makes me
In
think of Oberon. There was an artist that was from the Surrealist, kind of like, well, I
peeking her
can't think
head
of
through
the
the
other
trees.
movement, but yeah, Oberon. Yep.
But that's my face from I was looking and copying, like looking down and doing from when I was I don't know if I was 3, 4, or 5.
And you did that. Oh, that's
I
beautiful.
did it a
That's
couple years ago.
definitely. Oh,
2010. 2010. Yeah. Wow. 2010? That's 12 years ago.
I know what you're saying. A few years ago, I'm like, wow. I know we're old now. We're in our
Time,
50s.
but it feels like it was 3 or 4 years ago. But I wasn't living
Yeah.
here then. That makes sense. It feels like maybe 6 years ago, not 12. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I was looking at a photo of me, of my portfolio, and I felt compelled to do the face. So once I did the face, my art guides took over and did everything else and made it like this is past life, or where when I meditate, you think you're sleeping, but you're traveling to another planet.
There you go. Uncle
With my
Badger got
pink
it.
dress, peeking through the flowers to look at the Fey realm.
Oh, that's pretty.
And the frog, I don't know how to do a frog. So my art, most of my art, 90% of the time is my guides.
Yeah. Yeah. And
So
did you
I
see what
just be
Uncle
like this,
Badger put?
and the frog came out, and I was like, that is the best frog I've ever drawn,
Oberon. He got
sitting
it.
on his lily pad.
King of the Fairies.
Oh, that's Oberon
There you
Rain.
go.
Right?
Yep. There you go. Yay. Thank you, Uncle Badger. I know his name was Oberon, but I didn't know he was considered King of the Fairies. That is really cool. And you're his queen. There you go. Or his princess.
Well, it's funny because it was kind of prophetic. Actually, oh my God, yes. So 2010, I did this. 2019 for Beltane, I was nominated on a YouTube community channel to be the May Beltane Queen. Uncle Badger, remember? And I wore a pink dress and I did a thank you video. And I just realized this is what
Is
I
that
look
still up?
I have the video on. I do have it. Hold on. It's not up, but I have it. 9 years later, I didn't even realize until right now this came true. Look at that dress and look at the crown. And look at the hair. Okay, I don't have blonde hair, but I do in the video.
There you go. No such thing as a coinky dink.
Right. Prophetic. I knew while I was channeling. So, okay, talk amongst yourselves. I'm just going to get into this app.
Alrighty. So for me, surrealism, I kind of had a hard time getting into because for me, my art is very intuitive. And what the artists were creating were images that were disturbing to me, because I think a part of growing up and the things that I experienced were kind of like disturbing enough for me in real life that I needed to find an escape. And that for me was in, as I got older, the beautiful colors. That's why I just loved when I got into high school. Well, middle school, I finally had teachers saying that they felt like I had a talent. And believe me, this isn't something that a lot of artists, one wake up and go, oh, I'm a Da
Right.
Vinci or something. For a lot of artists, we have to work hard, we have to practice. And so they really started seeing something in my art by mid school. And up to that point, I had been bullied so bad that my outlet, my escape was my art. And for me, the only way I could really express feeling stuff, because I didn't have the graphic illustrative technique or skill, I would just start putting colors down,
Same.
random shapes and things. And then when I got into high school, I learned about Georgia O'Keeffe. And then in college, Kandinsky and Monet and all of them. And for me, that felt like my color palette, where I was able to express feelings and emotions through color, and still, without the startling images. And I think that might too be from past lives. I wonder
Yeah,
if there's certain
absolutely.
art that we can't handle. Like for me in this life, I can't stand snakes. I hate them. I'm terrified of
Mhm.
them, even if I see them several feet away. And I think that has to do with something with the past life. So I think sometimes a lot of images in life, whether through art or photography, well, photography is art, that kind of throw me off a little bit, might be because of things I have experienced in a past life. And for me now in this life, I have to release it a different way. So,
Yeah, makes sense.
hi, Nancy. Thank
Found
you
the
for
video.
joining. Oh, she found the video.
Okay, so I turned the volume down, but that was
Oh,
my
my
acceptance
goodness.
speech. I was wearing a pink blonde, like pinky blonde wig.
Oh, Beltane Queen. I love the flowers.
It was being
Oh,
very
Tanji, you're
dramatic.
so beautiful. Well, you're still beautiful. Oh, they're so
Uh,
beautiful.
Exotic. But yeah, it's like, wait till you see, hold on. You'll see. I didn't realize until after. It's like, well, that's me in my fairy
Yep. There's
painting.
the crown and everything.
And you'll
The
see me
pink
outside.
flowers, the blonde hair.
There was no frog, I don't think. But yeah,
I'm going.
hold on, it's getting there. You'll see the outside. You'll see the dress, which I turned somebody's quinceanera type of prom dress into a cape dress. I altered it.
Wow.
Um, oh, it's coming. I'm
Ooh.
sorry. There, I had
There's
wings
your
on.
wings.
I was hugging my Gaia tree, and then you'll see the full dress.
Oh, I can't
And then
wait
I
to see
did
the
some
dress.
photoshopping with some funny stuff after, but
I
okay.
wish I knew how to do Photoshop. I can't even make my way around Canva, you know.
Right. Well,
Oh, that's pretty. It's
that's
like
I'm
that
making
light's
my
coming from
speech.
your heart.
Here's the
Oh,
dress.
there's the dress.
The
Very
pink
nice.
with the flower. I have way more flowers on it now.
You're
I did
making
a
me
lot of
think of Flora, the
right,
goddess of
right.
spring.
So
Yep.
that there I am.
Oh, that is
So that was
beautiful.
9 years prior to that video that I did this.
Yep. Everyone's saying beautiful. That looks, whoops, that was too quick.
Thank you.
It does look so.
The
Oh,
tree with
and
the
Uncle
spirit. That's right.
Badger says there's a
Gaia
spirit
tree.
in there. Yeah.
She does. Yeah.
Oops.
Thomas has seen her face. Used to show pictures and bring her on my lives outside. I'd have a smoke and show Gaia tree. And there's you see her face and she shows me images all the time. It changes. Yeah.
Okay, so we are at 6 p.m. We chatted for. Does anybody have any questions for Tanji about her art? Tanji, is there anything else you would like to share about your love of surrealism, or do you want to?
Just basically, I said it that that's how I see the world. That's where I feel I'm from. Um, Surrealism to me is my everyday. That's what I always tell people. I'm not from here, and I'm not like everybody else or a lot of other people. This is how symbolism and color is how I am and how I communicate.
Mm-hmm.
Telepathically, with my guides, with other people, dreams, that's normal to me. That's the life that I'm in. So when I go to the store and it's boring, I'm like, this is just like the Matrix. This is filler. This isn't my life. This is not,
Oh, you have a new
standing waiting in
subscriber.
line.
Thank you, Linda.
Yeah.
There we go. Yes, you have a subscriber.
So should we read for Varo? Oh, 30 on the timer.
You're good with the numbers. I don't catch the numbers as quickly. But I have several decks, and I really have one that just made me like say, you're going to use me because I pulled out my gummy bears, my muse. But what really just jumped out at me that wanted me earlier now, I accidentally bought a counterfeit. I didn't know what they sold counterfeits. So I have
Amazon does. They don't even realize it.
Tori Hartman cards by, well, they're called the Chakra Wisdom Tarot.
But there is something I want to point out too, because my guides are always screaming this. This isn't always, but this is sometimes. Please keep in mind.
Okay.
Companies make cards. They can be from China, and then they have a deal with the. This is some, not all. That say the company's name is Bob. Bob makes so and so's cards for North America, the world. Then they're done, and then Bob, who's in China, can reprint those cards. And can't put it under the artist's name, but can put it under their company name because they're the printers of the card. So they legally can do that. And it's not considered a counterfeit. Now, this isn't all the cases. I'm just saying there are some printers out there who are in China who print that Bob's thing and have permission to reprint and give that artist a percentage. So it's not always a scam. Sometimes it is, but sometimes
I didn't even get a booklet with this.
It depends. You have to do the research. If you find out that the artist, the creator is using that, for example, Bob from China, well, then that explains why Bob from China is reprinting out. And I do know sometimes the creator knows this and is okay with it. Sometimes they're not. There is counterfeit, there is corruption, but sometimes it's legit.
Well, there's an app called Wish.
Their version
and I checked it out because when I was still reading over at Rising Goddess, one of the other readers said, well, have you heard of Wish? And I said, yeah. She goes, but did you know that you can get tarot cards there for really cheap?
A lot of them are counterfeit, but a lot of them are printed at the same companies that print the cards for the creators. So it's not always an illegitimate thing. Sometimes it is, but sometimes it's not.
So what I love about these cards, just really quick before we read, is that they're extremely colorful. And of course, now the colors aren't going to relate. They didn't keep one color per suit. So I have, I can have a blue wand and
that matches your outfit. The 901s.
Doop, doop, doop.
Yeah, it's probably giving me Heather vibes. If you did that. There, see, click, screenshot.
Tanji acting school. So there's just really beautiful. And the green is in there as well.
Thank you, Laura.
So I felt like
I love the greens.
Be really good for readings. So
love it.
Alrighty. So do you want to go ahead and do? Yep. There we go. Take it away.
Thank you, Dawn. So we're going to read for, I'm sorry, you have to say her whole name. Yeah, I call her Varo.
Varo. Remedios Varo.
Okay. And she's a female surrealist from 18, when was she born again? I'm sorry. She died in 1960.
1963. So she was born in, I think, 1908.
1908. Okay.
Yeah, she didn't live very long.
No.
Well, she was probably a very heavy smoker, but there, it just never know. Some people smoke until they're 100, and
and depends on her contract. Maybe she fulfilled her life purpose.
True.
Yeah. Okay, so
Okay, 1908 to 1963. And I'll
19.
put that picture again up on the
Thank you,
screen for
darling.
everybody. And
Yeah,
there
that's
she
the
is.
photo I saw. I only saw a little blip about her, about what Heather just said, but I didn't do any research on her. And I've asked her to come through today, and she said, sure. These fell out. Oh, wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. So we got the Knight of Swords. And I don't know who 90% of these artists are. I do know Dali, and I do know Magritte and some of Matisse. But these are recreations of Surrealist art. The Hanged Man, Temperance. Geiger's in here too. Giger? I'm sorry, I never say it right.
I've been told it's Giger.
Giger. I want to say Geiger,
And
but my dyslexia screws things up. It's probably.
And he also helped with the X-Files movie, the first one too.
Did he?
Mm-hmm.
I know he did the
alien shape. Yep, the alien ship. Yep.
Devil and the 9 of Wands. So this is what I got, what she wants to say and convey. Okay, give me a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, these are all male dominated. Oh, wow. Tanji word. Male dominated. Male dominated era she was in. She communicated. Okay. So behind the scenes, she communicated a lot with the men. See, like the female. Oh my God, the shoe, like in my dream. But mine was brown. She communicated with a lot of men, and they had no problems, like, behind the scenes, like actors in the front of the thing are like, and then they go backstage and they're like, hey, we're going out for burgers. Yeah. They're close. Like writers were close with writers, artists with other artists. There was maybe 1 or 2, maybe more, that she was very close with. Speaking with other males and getting their views on art and her giving them views. I think it's totally different perception. Like I'm getting from her, it was chill. There was no problem. There was no, I was there, I'm kind of getting like, I want to speak like Sophia Loren type of men are going to be men and they will always be men, but they know that the women is in boss. The women is in boss and in charge. The women is in boss. Okay. That's what I got. In boss. I'm suspecting she had an accent because this is how I keep hearing her. Oh wow, I just thought she modeled for somebody. We got to find all this stuff out. So this is why I'm glad I didn't do research on her, because I want to find out after. She modeled for someone. I'm hearing not this. This is I'm getting images from this card, but it's not just from her. She modeled for somebody. She, it took a while, but she was lounging. It wasn't work. She would just lounge and they would study her and do art. And it might have been Dali, I don't know, or someone, I don't know, who was in that. It's like I'm getting like she was buddies with them. It was different as friends, as what the press would portray. You never really did hear about the women. Nope. 38 on the timer right now. You never really, they weren't thrust into the spotlight as much as the men were. But behind the scenes, the women were in power, and in front of the scenes, the men seemed to have power. This is what I'm getting from her. She sat and had a portrait of her for someone famous. I'm going to find out who. I'm thinking it's Dali, but I wonder who this guy is.
Just really quick, I got the devil card too. Right? I'll let you continue. Yep.
Thank you, darling. So messages from Varo. She would communicate with them. She was close with, there's a George. She's talking about a George or a George was very close. They were close. Very close. I don't know who that is.
George Ruwalt.
Who?
George Ruwalt. He did some, but no, I think that was earlier though. I'll have to look that up.
We got to find out. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was an institution. she was not allowed to be a part of or go into like a men's club.
Oh,
And I don't like those. But she got the scoop anyway. I'm feeling like she didn't feel like she was out of the loop. I don't get victim feeling. I get strong woman. Let the men think that they're being the men. I'll just sit here and paint, right? She got help too. She got info. For example, she wasn't allowed in the men's club. Example. You know, Dolly would call her up and tell her what happened. And she's like, I'm glad I wasn't there. You know, I'm not missing much. I'm not missing anything. I prefer my freedom in my isolation or in my studio in front of my canvas. Why do I want to be around a bunch of opinionated men? Not that I was male bashing, but that's what I'm getting. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm feeling she didn't feel like she missed out on anything. I'm not getting that feeling. That I'm not getting victim mentality. I'm not getting I wasn't part of this. They did. I'm not getting that at all. I'm not either. What I do. I was happy with what I did. I was a woman and I embraced my, femininity, masculinity. I did it all. I have no regrets and I'm wonderful and I'm having fun on the spaceship. Like she didn't want to be part of the male dominated world. She didn't care is what I'm getting. She didn't care. Let the men think that they have the better party and the bigger brush. It wasn't about competition to her. I just don't feel
or chisel.
Right there, chisel. She had the inside scoop though. I'm getting there was a very famous gay artist. He would tell they were like best friends or they would talk and she would just get the scoop and they trusted each other. They were like brother sister type energy. Very close. I don't know if that's that George guy.
I'm looking for George's.
That's what I'm getting from that. And that she was secretly helped and she would secretly help them. And publicly, but I'm getting more like it was behind the scenes, closer knit behind the scenes. Bigger brush.
I wonder if it's Georges Brock. He was like going into cubism.
Was he a gay man in?
I don't know.
Fabulously gay, like that's what I'm getting. A fabulous gay man, like an Andy Warhol, but different and earlier in the time, not at
Let's
that time.
see. Georgia Sorrell would be too.
Very confidant friend, close friend.
Is she showing you kind of like what art is? Is he part of the Surrealist movement?
He's part of the movement. This guy, it's like he's, he looks like a man, but he loves women's shoes, and he's talking to her, and she's like, "Darling, you can borrow my shoes anytime."
Tanji, what do you think of this gentleman?
Georges Brock. I don't know because I'm seeing him younger.
Okay, let me see if I can find a younger picture then, because he was at that time when Surrealism and Cubism were. Whoops, they took him away. Come back here. Let's see. Here we go.
Yeah, is that him when he was younger?
A younger picture. Yeah,
I'm getting that kind of vibe.
Look at the guy with the telephone on your card. It kind of does look like him.
That's see?
That's a different tie.
That's what I'm getting. Not saying this guy was gay, but I love gay men. It's easier for as a female artist woman. I speak for me, only for me. It's easier for me to be part of a society of artists or whatever when the men are effeminate and or gay, because they're or very understanding of women, and even men being feminists, understanding that women, because feminism is women having equal rights as men, being the same, treated the same, being fair, and men, and this guy that she's telling me about was a feminist, and I am getting he was fabulously gay, so yay. And that's why they were close.
This goes on today. There's a YouTuber that could be kind of controversial. I'm sure people have heard me mention her. Her name is Sloan Bella, but she reads in LA. She's lived there for 30, 40 years. And there's some men who present themselves like Rock Hudson and them did, wanting married
Yes.
and being married to women. But those were known kind of like as beards so that they could have, the light, like,
You're
look,
so
I'm married
feminine.
to this
Yeah.
person, but yet have
Yeah.
their secret,
That's what I'm getting. She had that. And it was very the relationship, like the platonic relationship between her and this George guy. I don't know if it's the one you showed me,
Oh,
but
yeah, some of my best friends have been gay men. I go to
helped each
bars
other.
and not have to be hit on. You can go and you can buy a drink,
Right?
go on the
Oh,
dance floor.
love going out to
days.
the gay bars. I miss that. It was the best people ever.
Even after one accidentally
Even though
dropped me
I'm
on the floor.
straight, I love because I wanted to go dance, right? I didn't want to get hit on, so I'd go to the gay bars. And all my gay friends protected me, and it was fabulous. I love that.
I even saw a gay strip show. That was interesting. I was the only woman in the crowd, and they all had fun with me. So yes, Queen of Cups. She was very happy. She was, the queen. She didn't care. She's looking at her throne. Her art is emotionally fulfilling her. She's happy, no problems. And what's interesting with this deck, the Wheel of Fortune uses the same things as the Magician. So not only, this is how she saw things, this is how the way things are. It's, same thing time over again. It's never going to change. But here were all her different instruments and things that she used to create her artwork. And of course, the devil, like you got. So yeah, there was that dark side, that she saw with people trying to. Now, for me, what I feel, and being in art school and having experienced this, your classmates would be all, sometimes kind to your face, and then sometimes we had some students who had artwork, messed with and things. So that's kind of like, the dark side of, yes, that's like the dark side of fame.
Right.
This is something that she didn't want to be bogged down with the addictions that she saw around her, what they were having to do to get their name out there. Because when I was a security guard, a lot of times it didn't have anything to do with the artwork, but who you knew, and for entertainment purposes only, who you slept with.
Yeah.
And a lot of that brought me down and wanting to bother to even try to exhibit anymore, because it's like, what's the point? But yet she continued on. Princess of Wands. She tapped into that creative side of herself. She dug deep into that Mother Earth energy. For me, the greens, and with the wand. Well, wands are creativity. So this is what I love about these cards. Like, I get used to them, is that she keeps changing the colors for all the different suits. But with the with the Princess of Wands here, that's creativity, but she's connecting into the earth. For me, that's pigment. She loved the pigment. She may have even, I kind of like see her making her own paint. Because by then, they were in tubes, but some artists still preferred, grinding their own pigment and making
and actual nature
and energy. And that's what she absolutely loved about it. King of Coins, she didn't care. Let the men have their thing, that's, she was the embodiment of the art. And she saw a lot of times the men were the ones that made the money, but they quite weren't the authority. I mean, they are the ones that, like you said in the beginning, they stood out front. And I'm sorry if I'm going back and forth. It's just like, woo, I'm all over the place.
Go ahead.
But the King of Coins. So yeah, there they are sitting on their throne. Well, she was happy enough to sit on her throne. Because for me, the joy of creating, the joy of the process of painting, or not just the joy, but the emotions because some of her pieces I saw are very sad. So a lot of her emotions, everything in that cup, in that chalice, was put right into her artwork. And the last card, well, not actually, that's not the last card, but then I got the star. And so there's, the beautiful green dress. Again, connecting with the earth, with the painting, with the materials. And I just love how the stars formed a heart in the sky.
Oh,
so this is truly what she loved.
Yes.
truly what she loved. And then the Three of Cups, just absolute celebration. I have three, so there, may have been like a small group of them together, or like that little entourage, that went around and said, "Yeah, you guys have, all the, and we'll take care of things here in the back."
Yeah,
So
you can have the fame, we'll have the money. You know what I mean?
and the social and the emotional fulfillment.
Right.
That's all she wanted from her art, and I mean that's just. Did you have anything more? Because I was going to maybe shuffle from the muse deck, or you
That's
think
it. That's
we're.
no, I'm resonating with your reading very much too.
And she's telling me I got
For
to
her.
pick one more card
Wow.
from the muse. So I have the muse deck. So let's just see one final message. Because I know our energy levels, especially for Tanji, stays at about an hour because of all
Yeah,
the. And you already did a live today.
I
I was
did.
by the
Yes.
water and I found a bird's wing. I have to show you after we get offline. I have to show you. I found a bird's wing.
Wow.
On
When you
the
dreamt of bat wings and you held the wings.
No, I didn't hold the wings. I just kind of
You
like
didn't hold the bat
held the
plushie's
bat
wing?
like this.
Oh.
I didn't hold the wings. I held the body. I'm kind of looking at it. Okay, I don't know
Oh.
what I'm going to do with this. And then the next thing, the minute I know, boom, they're out of my hands and to somebody else, to another
I
child.
wonder if it is a wing relation. Because you found a ring.
Well, my
I mean, that's
friend,
not something you find every day. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
no, but my friend
how was
Jill
your day?
got
Good, I
married.
found a wing.
I mean, poor baby was it was sticking out from under a tree limb, so I know that the rest of the poor bird was probably had been under there for a while. But it just made me see that it was there, and I
Hi, Lisa.
removed it. And oh, bye, Lisa. Thank you for coming by. And I called my friend Jill immediately, and I took a picture and I showed her, and she goes, "Oh my goodness!" She goes, "I have been thinking about and dreaming about a bird wing." She's my Tuscarora native friend of the Haudenosaunee people. She's Tuscarora.
Okay.
And so I have to take that to her. I may have found the bird wing that was meant to be brought to her.
Wow. Did she say what that could mean? Like, did she give some symbology for it?
Um, we haven't spoken yet about that,
Oh.
but I knew that I have it wrapped and I'm going to take it to her, and we're probably going to, do some prayers and over it, and she'll know by then from spirit this is meant to be her.
Yeah, I love it when things go through one person to get to another. It's a journey. Yeah.
And if people don't mind, this is the bird wing I found.
Oh, it's beautiful. It doesn't look gross or anything. It looks magical to me.
And when you turn it over, and when you turn it on its side, you can spread a little bit. So yeah, the feathers are torn, but it was still there, and I'm like,
that's the gift from
it
nature.
was
Magical.
Yes.
Yeah. Blessings.
Let's see who else. Oh, hello, Sharon. Thank you for stopping by. Spend all your money. What?
Oh, it was like,
you don't have a gay friend,
everybody needs a gay best friend, right?
Yep.
And go to the gay club, spend all your money because men aren't buying you drinks. So you got to spend your own. It's true. It's true, but I didn't care. I did not care.
And I had a blast in Massachusetts with Garrett because we would do karaoke. And so when we go to, the gay bar for karaoke, oh honey, here, let me buy you one.
I just miss that. I miss all my gay
Yep.
friends. I do, hanging out.
Oh, those were the days. And befittingly, Tanji, look at this for Varo.
For Varo?
Yep. There's the dark hair. She's drinking from her cup.
Right.
Her art, complete her. And what's cool is, I don't know if you've ever seen this deck, but there's a lot of different symbolism in there too. We have the starfish. So she's holding the star. There's the star.
Can you remove the comment, please, Heather?
Oh, sure.
Thank you. I can see the card better.
There we go. Oh, here, let me do this. Oop, nope. Hold on a second.
Oh, yes, solo. Put me on the side. I like it. Put me on the side, please.
It's not letting me do it. No.
There we go.
There we go.
Woo. Ooh.
So,
okay.
There's the
Starving.
fish. There's the beautiful boat. So she was happy being, the one at the helm. Just
I wonder if she had a drinking
best person.
problem.
Oh, I don't know. This is the Muse of Emotion. So
I'm
this
getting
would be
drinking alcohol.
the 10 of cups. So she was very fulfilled, drinking, emotionally fulfilled with her work. But yeah, I should look that up. We have 5 minutes left.
5511 on the timer.
5
5511 on the timer. This has been great. We're not done yet. Thank you, Heather, for doing the reading on Varo with me.
Thank you for joining me.
Female surrealist artist.
So where are my pages? I'm trying to see if I can find something really quick on her to see if we can substantiate.
Yeah. Was she a lush, or did she just like her drink?
A lot of times there too, she may have. I mean, I'm sure there were times when she got so frustrated. I know, being a female artist, I would get frustrated too. That, all these, hearing about, the men getting the solo shows, how very little women, a lot of times where I would get my work would get passed over for somebody who really didn't have any
or deserve
talent whatsoever. Yeah, I mean, it was just, and so I know that would,
I'm wondering even too. Yeah. Sorry, I'm talking to her in my head. So she could have given her friend George her art, and he passed it off as his. And she got the money. Like he got the praise, but she got the money.
Ooh.
Yeah, I just heard that. That's awesome though. Like she was cool with that because he was her friend. So she's like, well, you can get the accolades and I'll get the money.
Look at that one that she did of.
Wow.
Isn't that cool? It's like the photograph and then she painted or somebody added her face to it. That's different.
That's incredible.
The two sides of her.
I love it.
That maybe nobody knew about.
Right? Maybe she was gay and hanging around the fabulous gay bars.
Maybe. Is that all you're going to tell me? Oh, this is ridiculous. That's all they're going to. Oh,
gay friends, drinking, money. That's what I'm getting. Yeah, men.
Well, I do know her family was well to do. Her father and parents supported her her painting.
Well, that makes sense. So I'm getting she had money.
Let's see. The stepping stones for her were set in her early childhood and adolescence, fueled by a multicultural background and upbringing. Also, the great influence was her father, who might have been that king of coins. That might have been her influencer.
Oh, right.
In the reading, who instilled some core values in her, such as her ardent perfectionism and the freedom of thought, which later took shape in her artwork. Varo's father, an engineer by profession, nurtured his daughter's artistic potential by mentoring her in developing technical drawing skills. Oh, wow.
Wow, right? Yeah, and we don't know any about this of her until right now. We're just finding out.
Technical and philosophical manners taught to her by her father, spiritually by her deeply religious mother. So she was kind of torn between, the two worlds a little bit, but that's why she ended up adopting surrealism as her style to express the struggles of her inner world.
Wow.
So I'm going to go down a little bit for that. Might have been too, maybe some of the drinking, just because of that constant maybe inner battle.
Makes sense.
Through her art, Varo expressed her feminist beliefs and her need to oppose the superiority of male counterparts, and therefore Varo and her fellow female surrealists, probably those represented by those three women, struggled to win a place in the spotlight on a scene dominated by men.
Ha! That was coming through strong, yeah.
So just moving down here really quick to see some of her, let's see, such as Wolfgang Palin and Salvador Dali.
Yeah. Maybe it was Wolfgang. Does it say a close friendship with any of them?
I'm looking, but it says here, to mark her presence on canvas, Varo built androgynous looking characters with facial features that resembled her own.
Well, yeah.
By juxtaposing nature versus machine, the feelings versus logic, the artist built a multidimensional world where she could fully express the multiple aspects of herself, interweaving the woman artist, the mystic, scientist, and spiritual being all into one.
Wow. Love her. Yeah.
And this is a cool painting that just popped up on for her.
I had to not research her so I could do a cold reading and get all the info from her directly. But I love that feedback. Thank you.
And there's the cups. Ooh, wait a minute, are those cups? Wow. Oh no, they look like cups to me. Okay, never mind. I thought, oh, but wait a minute, doesn't one look like it's got like an alien head on it, Tanji?
Yes.
The little
right there in the window. Yeah, it looks like my buddy Gordon. But that's blue. Gordon's green, but that guy looks blue.
But I'll find more on her at a later time to see about the drinking. But I think too, a lot of that.
Mind you, some people like Hemingway, that's how they drank, they smoked, and they did art or write. You know, that was how it was.
And we did have somebody, Epiphany Noel. That's a new name to me. Thank you for joining us. Trying to catch up a little bit. Geiger, Uncle Badger said earlier, was how he's heard it pronounced. So maybe I'll look it up. Geiger? He says the way you pronounced it.
Geiger. Yeah, that's how I said.
Tomato.
It doesn't. Yeah, I was going to say people pronounce everybody's names differently anyway. Like I guess it depended on your accent, where you were from, right?
Well, should we do just one more card for the collective and send everybody off?
Sure.
Something to inspire everybody to get out
#
there.
remove the comment, darling. Please and thank you.
You got to keep me in check too sometimes. I get all excited.
I do too. And I forget. And I have like 6 or 7 comments on mine. I don't even know how I do that. Apparently it happened. Collective. The Emperor. Boom, 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 boom. Tell me about your Maja and your Faja.
Yeah. See how he's got his hands in his pants and
right. Well, he's got his hand on his hip. Put your hand on your hip, and then your pipe in your hand. You have a cow on your head, and then the crow will land.
Are you serious? Look at.
And then you're standing in the water.
Look at cows in my card, and jugs of water.
Wow.
10 of inspiration.
Wow. Lots of water, lots of emotions, lots of actual water. Cows. Watch the weather, you guys. Watch storms, floods.
Yeah.
Please be prepared. I just went through it. Our power came back on this morning. Better to be overly prepared. But this I'm getting like really sinking into the like getting your teeth in. Sinking your teeth into going within, going into the emotions, going into it and not being afraid of it and owning it. Yeah.
Yes. And don't be afraid to create. Everyone says, well, I can only do stick figures. You know how many times if I had $1 for every time I heard somebody say that, I would be seriously rich. Wow. You don't, stick figures are fine. You don't even have to try to draw anything.
Do whatever you want.
Anything. Just tap into that natural creative energy and talent that we were given by our creator, whoever that may be, the universe. I mean, it's an innate in all of us, you know, baking, crocheting, sewing, crafting, you know, going out and doing those balancing with the rocks. That just jumped into my mind for some reason. Maybe somebody here loves to go out and balance the rocks. That takes creativity. We all have it. We just got to tap into how we express it the best.
Beautiful. And I'm getting stay calm no matter how choppy the waters get.
Yep.
Rise above it, but don't be afraid to delve into the emotional and or the water safely.
Yes. And take it easy too with this card.
Swimming.
There might be a little bit of an uphill battle for some right now, but don't just panic. Onto your jug. Just, you know, Hold on to
Hold
that.
on to your
Watch
jug.
your mouth.
Don't panic. If
Nope.
the pipes break or there's a flood, don't panic. Stay calm.
Nope, because there's plenty
Keep
of
your
cows
head.
right here. Yep. The cows are helping you up that hill. So
Till the cows come home.
yep.
Milk it. That's great.
Yes.
Hope that helped you, collective.
Yes,
Thank you,
so
Heather. This
thank
was
you,
great.
Tanji. Oh, whoop, I always
Okay,
forgot
ready?
about you. Bye.
Thank you, Varo.
Oh, it's Tan. That's what I was supposed to say. And people would go. Shannon was like, "Do you guys have like a name like Bentanji
We
and stuff?"
did. I forgot what it was.
Tanjigo.
Tanjigo. Tanjigo. Love that.
So Tanjigo. Alrighty. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. I'm hoping to get some more fellow readers to hop on with me and share their favorite female artists. Get the ones up there that nobody learns about or hears about, and start sharing their art. And hopefully, it'll inspire everybody.
Yeah. And a lot of the art that you think, a lot of maybe some art you saw, you think is done by a male artist, maybe it was done by a female artist.
And if you're not quite sure you understand it, just look up the artist and see what they were thinking and why they put those symbols in there, why they chose those colors. Because there's most of the time, there's a lot of emotional, intellectual, and experiential experiences
Right.
that people go through in life. And the best way that they can get that out to release it is to put it in that particular form or style and to just give it a chance.
And also what was available at the time. I just heard her say that was the only color I could get on this Tuesday at 9 p.m. I'm like, okay, I'll tell them that.
That's all you need.
Love you guys.
Alrighty.
Thank you, Heather.
Thank you.
Go
Tanji.
create, everybody. Create art.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye. Lead colorful lives.